to Maths with Mrs. J. We're going to start a series of videos about what I would refer to as basic trigonometry. Doesn't necessarily mean it's easy. What I mean by basic trigonometry is that we're sticking to right-angled triangles for now. Now, I want to take things nice and slowly and take you through the various steps over 4 videos. If you have already learnt this and you're just doing a bit of revision, you might like to skip through at least this first video and move to some of the examples in videos 2, 3 and 4. In this first video, I wanted to talk about how we label the sides of a right-angled triangle and what the various trig ratios are. First of all, let's think about our right-angled triangle. To do the trig that we're talking about here, you must have a right angle. If for some reason you get a triangle that does not have a right angle, then you will need to somehow make a right angle by maybe drawing an extra line in and making some right angled triangles or something like that. For now, we have our right angle. The hypotenuse is always the longest side of our right angled triangle. It is also opposite the right angle. So if you're ever in doubt, draw a line across from the right angle and that will be your hypotenuse. So that's your first step when labelling the sides. Now the next step, we're going to be talking about an angle other than the 90 degrees. Sometimes you'll know what both of those are. In actual fact, if you know what one of them is, you really do know what the other one is anyway, because they're all going to add up to 180 degrees. But usually there'll be one that you're focused on, all right, one that's been written in there. In relation to that angle, let's just get our colours happening here. If you do what you did with the right angle and the hypotenuse, if you rule across or draw an arrow across, the side that is opposite that angle, funnily enough, is known as the opposite side. So that side in no way touches that angle, all right? And then your adjacent side, the word adjacent means next to. So it's the side that's next to your angle. Your angle is always going to be in between your hypotenuse and your adjacent side. Now there are 3 trig ratios that I want to introduce you to. And of course, all triangles that have the same 3 angles, no matter what size they are, their sides will be in the same ratio. So it's really the angles that determine those ratios. The first ratio I want to introduce to you is sine of theta. The sine ratio is the ratio of the opposite side to the hypotenuse. So this side divided by this side. The cosine ratio is the ratio of the adjacent side to the hypotenuse. And the tangent ratio is the ratio of your opposite side to your adjacent side. Now, I've abbreviated there instead of writing the full words. Please don't abbreviate opposite to O because it's then very likely to get mixed up with 0. Okay, so probably using a 3-letter abbreviation is better than just using the 1-letter abbreviation. How do we remember these 3 ratios? You might have heard this before, you might not. SOHCAHTOA. Some old hens can't always hide their old age. Okay, so just remember those ratios. No matter how big the triangle is, these ratios will be dependent upon what the angles are, because all of those triangles will be similar triangles.